Hold
First.
on.
All right, we are live out there.
Yes, hello, Keller Williams. As usual, problems with StreamYard. This platform is amazing when it works, but I'm growing to absolutely despise it because it never finds my devices. But that doesn't matter to any of you. What we are going to talk about. Oh, Peter, East Florida now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
like, like the West Side crew.
yeah,
I'm the East Side crew.
I'm not even going there. Not flat. I'm not flashing signs or anything like that.
I don't even know what it means, what I'm saying.
East side.
East Side, that's
West
me.
side.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do today is we are going to tackle the top 5 most requested articles on answers.kw.com and MCT or mcasupport.kw.com. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're just going to jump right into it. It kills me that I don't have a culture moment. But like I said, I was fighting technology and did not get a chance to get that done. We will be sure to have that next time after I totally, well, I'll leave that alone, but I'm going to have words with StreamYard. So I need to kind of bring some stuff up here, and let me just kind of clear out my screen so I don't share anything that I'm going to have a hard time with on YouTube later. We'll just get some of this stuff out of the way and jump right into it. So, Peter, if I'm not sure about something with command and I can't get a hold of my Market Center Tech Trainer for some reason, or I can't get a hold of my ALC Tech Chair for some reason, where can I go?
So there's a few places you can go.
Don't tell me where to go. I know where that's going to go.
One of them is not official, which is my ChatGPT custom MCTT bot, which is pre-trained and programmed on Keller Williams topics. But obviously you've got answers.kw.com, where there is a wealth of past, current, and potentially future problems. But yeah, it's very good. It's very well written. And there's lots of links, lots of resources. And you always have your RTT, your regional tech trainer, as a backup if there isn't a person available. And where else were you thinking?
No, that was the main one, is answers.kw.com. I don't think enough people are aware of it. And that those articles are very well written, links to other things if it's necessary, all that. It's always pretty much in a step-by-step process. And so we're going to look at some of that stuff today. Let me bring up this graphic so that we can see what it is we're going to do. And bring this up. And ta-da! Okay. So this is a summary of trending KW Tech training topics for February 2024. And these are the top 5 most visited articles from answers.kw.com and mcasupport.kw.com for February. So add a smart plan from the SmartPlan Library. Add contacts to a smart plan. There's a couple ways to do that. So we'll look at that. Access. This is a big one this time of year. Access your electronic profit share 1099 and your T4A tax forms. I don't know what a T4A is. I absolutely
might be a Canadian thing.
I absolutely, yeah, it could be a Canadian thing. Yeah, I would suppose that might make sense. I absolutely despise taxes. Can't stand them. I get really stressed out this time of year. And so then I put it off until October, and then I get more stressed out again.
So I think a T4A is a slip that identifies amounts paid during the calendar year for certain types of income. Many different sources, including self-employed commissions. So a T4A is the dreaded 1099 of the Canadian.
Maybe it's a
market.
1099 / T4A because the IRS loves to put all that stuff in the same form.
Yeah, no, it's the British getting their tea.
And then we're going to look at adding contacts to the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan and access and download the command import error log. You know what that is, Peter?
Yeah, so I discovered that it's very difficult to upload contacts from a Mac to command.
Okay.
And I found a fix for it. So I will show you the fix.
Awesome. All right, fantastic. Cool. So let's just jump in and start tackling this stuff right off the bat. I am going to.
So hang on, just before we move on to that.
Do it.
So that was the top 5 most visited articles, but the actual support requests, 92% of them were campaigns, which is not smart plans, Gmail, agent sites, landing pages, DocuSign, and Command MC. So we'll go through these. See, 3 of those up above are actually the same thing.
Yeah.
Nature, contact, smart plans, monthly neighborhood nurture. So we'll cover the smart plans. We'll take a quick check-in on the 1099, and then we'll look at the error log, and then we'll try and get onto those other ones as well.
Yeah, so those are specific to our region, but
it's going to be the same.
Yeah, absolutely, because we know from what we've seen in the Facebook groups and everything that that's pretty consistent, especially agent sites and landing pages. There's definitely a buzz around that.
It's like, why didn't I get any leads when I ran my campaign? That's the big one.
Yeah. Well, and so, that just came up the other day and found the common error that a lot of people make. And I guess all I can really say is please take advantage of the training that's going on in your market center around campaigns. There's so many great MCTTs, market center tech trainers out there that are providing in-house training on campaigns, how to create the proper way to create a Facebook ad, all that stuff. Because what I just saw recently was another instance of an agent sending somebody in their ad to a landing page where the minute they got on that landing page, they're forced to give their information and you've given them nothing. Nobody is going to give you their information if you haven't provided anything of value first. Not in this day and age of scams on the internet and everything else. It's just not going to happen. So there is a 0.0001% reason why an agent would need to use a landing page for lead capture, and it's for something like a reverse bold 100 for a giveaway. Outside of that, I can't think of a good reason to use a landing page.
Yeah. So to add to that, your MCTT is a very valuable member in your market center and has access to resources both through Keller Williams support, which is phenomenal, but through their fellow MCTTs. So they tend to kind of network together, and we have as we're streaming live in the Labs Advisors, quite a lot of them, not all, but quite a lot of the Labs Advisors are MCTTs. There's lots of other roles in Labs Advisors too. But your MCTT knows how to run those Facebook ads. And I would strongly recommend you don't spend any money until you've learned the process, because there's one fatal flaw, and we'll cover it in a minute, that will just wipe out your campaign. And it's not a fault with the software or anything like that. It's just using it correctly.
Yep.
So we'll cover that.
And that's a lot of times that's what it is. It's just not having either been provided or taken advantage of the education around creating those ads.
Absolutely.
So just trying to get the resources up here. I apologize. I'm a little out of sorts because of the problem with the technology, but we are jumping into it. Okay. So let's share this and we'll jump right into command and get logged in. And I think I'm sharing a tab, which is fine. So, all right, we're going to do that. And then I want to go to... All right, so how to add a smart plan from the SmartPlan library. So we're going to start off with something easy. However, we all had to start somewhere. And so we understand that if you haven't seen it, it may not be the easiest thing to do. So we're going to go in and jump into it. All right. So Peter, as we move down here, these are our tricks, right? These are our icons. I will typically...
I don't think you're sharing.
You don't see... Oh, you know why? I didn't bring it into... Okay, there we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So if we look at these applets down the side of the left side of our command screen, okay, they are applets because they are smaller applications within the larger application and command. I will often refer to them as icons because that's the first thing I think of when I see them. If you hover over them, they will tell you what they are, or a quick pro tip shortcut is to just, bam, hit that KW, and it will open that menu and show you exactly what everything is in one shot. So we're going to go to Smart Plans. All right. And then once I'm in SmartPlan, I can look through the library. And if I click over here on library, now you're going to see I'm in team plans. Yours will say my plans. I have a team account. So that's why I just happen to be in this team account because I have mine set up to default to my team account. And another pro tip, if you are on a team and your account does not default to your team account, that can be fixed very easily. And you definitely want it to work that way when you're on a team. All right, so I'm in the library and I'm going to go to one of our favorite labs advisors here, and we're going to choose an author. So I can go by SmartPlan name, but most people don't know what the SmartPlan name is. A lot of times in training, you'll hear from the instructor or something that they've created a smart plan. So we're going to go look for the author. So if I click on this, I can actually go to author name or description, which will search for keywords in the description. But we're going to go to author name, and we're going to look for that amazing labs advisor, Miss Kimber, also known as Mrs. 36 Touch. Would that be fair to say? I think she's the first one anybody thinks of when we think of a smart plan that is the best 36 Touch out there right now. So, and has been for a while. So we're going to look for Kimber, and it's Kimber Walton. And when it brings it up, we can see here's all of Miss Kimber's smart plans that she's created. Man, she's busy. Busy. Look at all of that value she's created for us, huh? All right. And because of the nature of the way that smart plans work, they are in 3 parts to carry on throughout the year. However, Pierre, did that recently change? I think we still have to do it this way because we're limited to 5 emails in a smart plan, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking here. There's different dates on these plans.
Yeah.
So I think there was a new version of it.
Yeah, she has a let me find it. It looks like it's going oldest to newest. So that's 23.
There you are, 24. Look.
Okay. Yep, right here.
January 24. Right, that's the one we want to be using.
Yep, in the market update. And if you are not a friend of Kimber's on Facebook, go find her if you're a Keller Williams agent, because she lets you know when she's released the new each month she's released the market updates and things like that. So she is amazing at creating and providing value to the agents all across Keller Williams. She's the regional tech trainer for Utah, but she provides value for all of us, and we certainly appreciate that. So that is how you can search smart plans. And then if I wanted to add one of these, let me just take one that's easy. Because I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning.
We'll get a copyright strike. You're that good.
Now they're going to be like, what in the heck was that horrible nonsense? All right, I'm just going to take this one just to show how we add one. So I'm going to add Smart Plan. And then it's going to say add to my Smart Plans, plan name. And it will always throw the my in front of whatever the Smart Plan name is so that you know it's yours. You could always give it a different name if you wanted to. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to hit download. And now if I go over to my team plans, I will see that my 10 days of love from Kimber is right there. And again, that is the oh so sweet side of Kimber, the 10 days of love, because that is her version of the 10 days of pain. And I agree, 10 days of love sounds a lot better. So that's how we add a smart plan. Peter, anything to add?
No, I mean, it's fairly straightforward. You can add it directly from within a contact. So when you're looking at the contact profile page, the folder, you can click add smart plan there, or you can click the little person square right next to as you just showed. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. Right there. Yep. So I think we've covered that question.
Yep. And then just because I'm in here, this shows all of my team smart plans that are here. And then just to run you through this, contacts, it shows you how many contacts are on that smart plan. If I was to click this eyeball, I'm not going to do it because then I have to edit and blur that out. But if I click this eyeball, it will actually pop up a list of the contacts that are on there so I can see exactly who's on it. Okay. The duration of the smart plan, the total touches, and then I can go in here, and this actually takes care of add contacts to a smart plan, which is the next one. So let's say I want to add somebody to the one that we just added from Kimber. If I go over here, hit add contact, then I can just type in, I'll put myself in here, and I can just click on that and then add to smart plan. Okay. Now you're going to see in a case like this, that contact did not have a phone number, and I'm going to get an error message. So the contact has an error or errors that may affect the performance of my 10 days of love, Kimber Walton. Would you like to add so-and-so to the plan? Anyway, so what that means is that smart plan most likely has a text feature or a phone call step in there. And if there's no phone number, it's letting you know that there's an issue and it's not going to work the way that you expect it to. All right. So I could say add to plan anyway if I wanted to. I'm going to cancel this for now. Let's just take a look, because here's another thing that a lot of people are interested in is what does the smart plan look like? So if I hit this drop down right here, you're going to see what the actual steps are in that smart plan. So it's showing me my trigger. My trigger is actually a manual add right now. I could go into that and I could change that and create like a contact tag or something as a trigger if I wanted to. Now that I have it, I can edit it and I could change that trigger. Send simple email, and it's giving you the start of what the email looks like. And then it's send text. So that's why it knows there's an issue with not having a phone number, because there is a text in there, and then a delay, and then a phone call. Pretty hard to do if you don't have a phone number. And so it just walks you through all the steps for the 10 days of love in that plan. So we know that if I was to add somebody to that and they don't have a phone number, it's not going to work. What would happen is that person would only receive the emails, I believe. Is that how you understand it, Peter?
It is.
Yeah. So they would receive the email steps of that smart plan, but there would be nothing for them to receive on the text, and then obviously no way to call them if you don't have a phone number. So once again, how I would add somebody to that. Let me find, well, you know what? We'll go to the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan, because that's a super easy one, and we'll show you again how to add somebody to a smart plan. All right. So add contacts to a smart plan. There's another way to do it too. So what we saw here is I can go over here to actions, add contact on this out to the right of the smart plan I want. I could actually go by a tag if I wanted to. I could search by tag and then add all those people if I wanted to, and then add them to that smart plan. Or I could do it one by one. So then we have access your electronic profit share 1099. Okay, so this is going to be fun. This is where I'm actually going to pull that up here. So I'm actually going to pull that article up and we're going to look at that and go through it together so that you can see how detailed these articles are. I believe they're pretty much all written by Mr. Paul Polanski, who does a phenomenal job on these. So we'll go here and get rid of this. All right. Let's get the right window up here. All right. So once this comes up, we can take a look at this. So this is the support article for access and download. Nope, sorry, wrong one. I'm on the wrong one. Access your electronic profit share 1099 T4A tax forms. So you can see here that we've got a step-by-step process to get through all of these. I'm not going to go in and demonstrate because, again, I don't want to have to blur information out. And I'm going to have confidential information in here of my own. So I'm not going to demonstrate that, but you can see if you just go to answers.kw.com, your one and only trusted source for help. But if you go to answers.kw.com, which really ought to be your first go-to when you have a quick question like that, and then you should be able to find the article that you need. But that will bring you right here. So let's give it a try. If I go to KW Answers, so we'll go here to the beginning, and then I'm in the search box up here, and I'm just going to say 1099 profit share. Okay. And then look at that. Boom, right off the bat. First thing you see takes us right back to that article that we were on. And then it's going to walk you through step by step how to get it and then how to download it. All right. Anything to add or ahas about that, Peter?
Nope. Just straightforward,
right?
Yep.
Yep. And I mean, we say pretty straightforward. We certainly don't mean to sound like you should know how to do that because not everybody does. And to be perfectly honest with you, I always forget every year and I have to go look for that article too. So certainly understand. Yes, thank you. The T4A is the Canadian version of the 1099. Awesome. Thank you for that, Facebook user. Sorry, I'm teasing. I'm gonna pick a little bit on Facebook users the way that Joe McHugh used to pick on me when I first started watching Labs Advisors live, and I would not give StreamYard the ability to see my Facebook profile and all that stuff. So that's one thing I miss was Joe ripping on Facebook users. It was funny. Let's bring that down. Okay, so moving right along. Add contacts to the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. Awesome. So this actually kind of takes care of 1 and 2. All right, but we'll show that specifically for the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan, but that also incorporates the first and second issue there. So we'll jump back in. And okay. So I'm going to go back here to library. All right. And let me just walk you through the steps. So if I sign in, this is what it looks like. Your screen might look a little bit different, but that's because I customized mine. If you're not aware, this little box up here, customize, will actually allow you to drag and drop all the widgets on your home screen, which is very cool. And I highly suggest that you move new leads to claim to the top of that screen so you don't miss any leads that might come in, especially if you've got money out there in Facebook campaigns and things like that. You definitely don't want to miss that. So I would actually do it in both places. I want recent leads and new leads to claim at the top, hit apply, and now you can see all that changes. And then we're going to go back to Smart Plans. And we'll go to the library again. And we're just going to type in neighborhood nurture. The reason I'm doing neighborhood nurture and not starting with monthly is because I want to show you that there are 2 of them. And it just depends on the frequency in which you want to send them to the potential customer. Right. So the biweekly neighborhood nurture and monthly neighborhood nurture. Nurture by nature sounds like a new rap group, doesn't it? Nurture by nature. We're going to start that group here.
I think we should. We've got all the equipment.
I know, right? But a nurture by nature is for longer term. My tongue's getting tied with this one. Longer term nurturing of a lead. So monthly would be to nurture a lead that's probably going to be much farther out, say 12 to 18 months, which is typically the length of a internet lead, so a website lead, something like that, between the time that they first come in as a lead and the time that they're actually ready to do something. That's normally a 12 to 18 month process. So monthly neighborhood nurture would be something for a long-term nurture like that goes out every 30, I think it's every 31 days. And then, yeah, so right down here, every 31 days. And then biweekly neighborhood nurture is for somebody who might be a little bit closer. So say maybe half that time, maybe 6 months or so. And then you want to send this to them every 15 days. So I could hit add to smart plan. I'll stick with what the graphic says, and we'll go to add smart plan for the monthly neighborhood nurture because that was the specific answers article that was being researched. So I'm going to hit add a smart plan. And then you can see for me, download is not an option. And that's only because I already have it. So if you click on add to smart plan and you try to download it and it is not allowing you, like is happening here for me, that's because it's already in your library. So don't stress. Then what we're going to do is we're actually going to hit that X. We're going to go back over here to team plans or my plans if you're in a solo account. And then I can just go down here. I could look through all these if I want to, or I'm just going to put monthly in here and then it should pop right up. Okay, so there's my monthly neighborhood nurture and I have 12 contacts in it. It was originally created January 14th, 2021. So that's when it entered my account. And then duration 31 days, total touches 1. It repeats, right? So I can, if I do go to edit that plan, there's nothing really to edit on this plan. All of the KWRI plans, so these are smart plans provided to us from Keller Williams Realty International. They are not editable. They're not edible either, so don't try to eat them. But there's really nothing to edit. Let the plan do the work. They're already fantastic the way they are. If I want to add somebody to it, I'm just going to hit add contact over here. And then I can actually go through my list of people and just check them off and hit add to smart plan, and it'll be added right away. All right. The other thing I can do is if I go to my contacts and I'm in a contact record like this fool right here, then I can actually go over here to smart plans and I could add to smart plan. And then I could just type in monthly. And then there's my monthly neighborhood nurture. And then I could hit select. Now, I was going to say like, there we go. Okay. So select, and then do I want to start now or start on a specific date? I'll start now. I've read the TCPA disclaimer. That is very important. Make sure you are not violating a TCPA. And then I can hit confirm. And then we should see if I refresh this page, I should have 2 smart plans now. Yep. And there's my little 2 to tell me that I got 2 smart plans there. And when I come here, and
it does take a while for that to refresh.
Yeah, it does. And it's funny because it showed 2 and then bye-bye. Let's see if it's here again. That's weird, huh?
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay.
That's standard functionality.
All right. Well, we'll come back and check that. We'll be back in 2 and 2. I'm gonna get sued for that too. Chuck Woolery's gonna sue me. Okay, Peter, anything you want to add to that or take over on that?
No, you're doing a great job.
What was the thing that you wanted to get into? Was it campaigns?
Yeah, we can have a look at that. So I just noticed something else.
Yeah.
I think Keller Williams has enabled the Google AI on our KW accounts.
Okay.
So on Workplace, we didn't have any AI.
Yeah.
But we now do.
Okay. Well, that is very cool. We certainly don't want to violate anything, so we probably need to check what we can talk about. We never know. Peter, as labs advisors, we have functionality that we have to be very careful that we don't demonstrate, and it's really hard when we're trying to do this and educate, and then also not spill the beans on anything. But I will tell you this, that just know that our tech team is always working hard to release the features you've asked for in Command, and there's a lot of really cool stuff on the horizon.
So would it be, it's hard to say whether this is a beta rollout. I doubt it is.
I don't know.
I doubt it is.
I don't know, and I don't want to get in trouble.
It's just there. I mean, so when it arrives, if it does, it's very clever, because if you're in any text box, like in the MLS, writing a description, you just right-click it, and Google's Gemini pops up, letting you write the description, as long as you're using Chrome browser.
Right.
So it's a Chrome. It's not a KW feature; it's a Chrome browser feature.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So we shouldn't be spilling the beans on anything. I'm gonna see if I can get into my wife's account, though.
I'm not a bean spiller.
I know you're
Ben
not.
Spiller.
No, that's Ben Stiller. I'm in my wife's account.
Okay, so you're going to Chrome settings.
Okay.
And it's not account settings, it's Chrome settings.
All right. So should I share my screen?
Yeah, as long as there's nothing personal popping up.
All right. So let's do that. And okay. And then we'll bring that up. All right. Don't know if you're gonna be able to see it.
It's not nothing to do with Command.
No, I know. I was gonna. Oh, and it's only showing the command screen. Okay. So this is settings in Chrome, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's okay.
Let's open the Chrome browser and take a look.
Yeah. So get rid of that too. And
this could be exciting.
I know, right?
And useful for real estate.
All right. So we're gonna get this weird infinite window here in a second, but that's all right.
And more importantly, free.
All right. So we're going to add the stage. I'll move to a different window. So you don't see the infinite window anymore, right, Peter?
Nope. See your emails.
Okay. Cool. So let's go to the 3 dots over here in the top right corner of Chrome.
Well, you're in your account, right?
Yeah.
So you could be experimentally included as well. So I was thinking you could sign into your wife's Gmail account.
That part I don't know. I don't have her Gmail login. I just have her.
All right, well, let's take a look then.
Login.
So go click the plus sign and open a new window.
Yeah. New tab.
Yeah, new tab. Yeah. All right, and then you need to go to Chrome account. Now on real computers, you look at the top and it says Chrome file edit Does it have all that on the top of a window in
what?
PC?
In my inferior PC?
Yes.
No. I kind of know where you're going with this now, and the only thing, so here's how you know whether it's working or not is when you log into Chrome, you're gonna get a pop-up that says that we have new AI. Do you want to take advantage of it or not? I mean, it's that simple, right?
I didn't get that. I had to switch it on in the back.
I've been getting it every time I log into a new account. Or,
Okay,
you know what I
but
mean?
yeah, that's only if
New
you're using
profile.
like if you're using a Gmail. But when you're using your Keller Williams, that's a corporate workspace account, so it's different. Just see where it says "Customize Chrome" at the bottom corner.
Oh yeah. Here.
Oh, that's just colors.
I know what you're talking about, and
It's like we're from two different planets when it comes to this computer divide. It's just incredible. So where does it say "File" on your PC?
It doesn't in a Chrome window.
Not within the Chrome window, but actually, does it not in the computer itself, like on it in the operating system, the desktop?
There's File Explorer, which like shows all the files.
No, I mean for the Chrome
application that's open. No.
Wow. I'm gonna have to start learning how to use these PCs. They're very popular. So anyway, it's your Chrome settings. I mean, if you Google Chrome settings on there, it might tell you.
Yeah. Well, this is getting us. It was great idea, but it's becoming cumbersome. So here's how it's been working for me: is when I get into when I log into a Chrome profile, right? Even if I just log into my Chrome profile, bring it up. I've been getting it almost every time where it pops up and says there's new AI features of Chrome browser. Do you want to take advantage of them or decline? And so, yeah, I've been taking advantage of it. So if that pops up, then definitely take advantage of it. And then Peter will tell us why. What's so cool about it?
Well, if you want to write a newsletter, if you want to write an email, if you want to write a description of a property, if you want to write a message, content for your blog, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Whenever you're on a web page and there is somewhere to write, in other words, a text input box, you right click on it and it pops up with the AI and says, do you want help writing this message? Or do you want to rewrite it? Or do you want to make it longer or make it shorter? So it's like having Google's Gemini, which we all call ChatGPT because that's what we use. It's just having that AI for free built in to your application. So I can see it having great value when it comes to property description in the MLS itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you why PC is superior to your Mac, because that's actually a Windows feature. This computer right here is Windows 10.
Using Copilot.
Yeah, Copilot. This computer is Windows 10, so I can't demonstrate it because it's only in Windows 11. But in Windows 11, Copilot is now built into it, and it does all that for you, and it doesn't have to be Chrome or anything. It can be whatever you're in. Yeah.
So I would agree that's a really, really cool feature. I found another, I mean, I don't want to get it off topic because this is more about Keller Williams, but I did find a really cool personal assistant browser plugin.
Yeah.
That has something unique about it. So what it can do is when you are, so it's like a pop-up chat.
Yeah.
But it knows what page it's on. And nearly every pop-up chat I've ever found do not know what page they're on.
You mean like what page of your website?
What page of anything.
Okay.
It reads the page that you're on.
Gotcha.
So then you can have a conversation with the page is how they call it. So I went on to kw.com, looked up a listing, clicked on this little feature, and I could say, how many bedrooms has it got? And is it for sale? And who's the listing agent? And just ask questions. And it knows the answers because it basically downloads everything there is to know about that property. And then in conversational style, you can converse with it. It's really awesome. So I will talk about that on our other podcast. When it becomes a chatbot. Right now, it's a plugin, which is not much use. But when I contacted the provider yesterday, they're in Europe, and they responded overnight, and they're going to have it available as a chatbot, which is just going to be wild.
Awesome.
So
love that.
I did see this article the other day that ultimately AI will kill the internet. So rather than the internet being the repository of all information, it'll actually be the AI models, and you'll then interact with the AI models to search for information rather than using the internet.
So in whatever like native app you're in, probably, right? Like
whatever. Yeah. I mean, if you could have a little pin on your lapel and you could just tap it and say, tell me where I am, and it'll say, right, you're in Suncoast Lakes, Port Charlotte. Great. How many properties are for sale on here that are under 400,000? Right. Drive round to number 23, da-da-da-da-da. That one is 375. Go 200 meters or 200 yards down the road, the one on the left-hand side there, that one is for sale, and that one's got a pull round the back. You might not be able to see it from the road. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
The way that we interact with information is going to fundamentally change because of AI. And the days of browsing the magazine type web page where it's all sort of static and doesn't update live and hasn't got live information on it, it's all going to change, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Can't imagine what 5 years from now is like.
Oh, I know, right?
Going to be amazing. So yeah, going back to command, which we need to stay focused on. So
Peter, when Peter and I start talking about AI, it's definitely a rabbit hole.
Yes, which is why I'm pulling the rabbit out of the hat and throwing it.
So this next one is access and download the command import error log. And that's what you were going to show us a trick on, right? Or show a nuance with command.
Yeah. So what's happening for a lot of people is they're struggling with the CSV file. And that's because there are 50 or 60 different types of CSV file.
Right.
So whilst they're all called CSV, they're not the same.
Right. That's comma separated values, not a CVS file. That would be something at a pharmacy.
Yes, that's a long receipt. That's as long as your leg.
That's right.
So a CSV file is the format that we use, which just has all the records with a header. The top record has to be designated as a header. Now, what a lot of the agents are doing is they think they've got to download the template CSV, then copy and paste the data in. Oh my goodness, you do not need to do that. You don't. It will take any CSV in the right format with a header, and then you can match the files. So this is quite hard to demo because it will expose data, Brett, which we're not allowed to do.
Right.
So I'm going to talk you through it. Can I share screen?
You can.
So let me just pull up command agent.kw.com. Okay. So I'm going to go to present and I'm going to share screen.
I just want to say real quick that I'm glad that I was not a bully about Facebook user, because that is the lovely Becky Bell, who is one of our favorite people here in the region. And because she is an MCA, she knew that T5A or T4A is the Canadian version of a 1099. Thanks for watching, Becky. Are you getting it? There it goes. I see it coming up here.
All right. Can you add that to the...
Yes, sir.
The whatnot?
It's not quite loading yet. There we go.
We in? All right. So I'm going to sign in. Now, I don't know what's going on with the internet world today, but I'm having lots of internet problems.
You're a little robotic.
Yeah, I had it all this morning. Let's just let that load.
I love your login for command, Peter. It's Fopkins. THOPKINS.
I thought you swore then.
No. No.
See how slow it's running?
Yes, very. Your neighbor's stealing your internet again.
Yeah. So we don't have fiber. We've got some kind of like old school phone line type internet underground.
DSL?
And well, the HOA is trying to encourage fiber companies to come in and install it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think we're quite big enough to attract them.
No.
Which is a shame. Right. So I'm going to go to contacts, and if what's the name wants to freak out, YouTube.
Chris, that 56K, baby. Remember when 56K freaking modems were everything? Oh, stop. There it goes.
Yeah.
That was
what we
really
did.
good. That's better than my wife's turkey call.
Your wife has a turkey call?
Bro, you don't even know. It's hilarious. Her whole body gets into it and everything.
That's awesome. So just going to go to blank real quick. My internet's so slow I can prevent my contacts showing.
Dude, it's killing me. But yeah, you're
right.
Right.
So
doing that.
Yes. You've got mail. Well, that's how it sounded in England. So here it says contacts must have a unique phone number and email address. Duplicates will not import. So if you already have a contact in there, you've got to be careful of that, because you could create two contacts with the same name with having different email addresses and different phone numbers. So just be kind of conscious of that. The first name is the minimum info needed to import a contact. And if your addresses have leading zeros, format your cells to not hide them.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't understand this, and it was a massive frustration for me, because I am not very good with spreadsheets and Excel, and I believe Sheets in the Google product, they natively will truncate, or is it still called truncate if they cut off the first number? But anyway, they'll get rid of that zero. They don't. It's a default setting that it will get rid of the zero.
Yeah. So there is a guide, this purple pop-up that comes up that kind of tells you what to do to go through the process.
I thought you were going to start.
So it says if you have your CSV file ready, easily upload your file in the boxed area, which is here. So you're going to click on this browse to find the file. Now I'm not going to do that because I don't want to expose the computer to YouTube, because they'll freak out and cancel our video, which is not what we want, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I wanted to point out was, when you're at this point, nearly every agent that I speak to goes straight for this download template thing. And then they really struggle with that template, because it's got so many different fields on that they're not putting info in, or it doesn't quite match what their info is in their other source. So say they're coming from Brivity or from Follow Up Boss, or, to get that data into the template is really big, a massive project, and is not necessary, because when you click browse, as long as you have a header line, which is the top line of the spreadsheet, is name, first name, last name, email, phone number, address 1, address 2, city, zip code, etc., with the data, notes, tags, whatever it might be from all those different places, there is a matching tool which will allow you to say, I want to put that record in this place in command. So it might be you want to put something into notes, something into a tag, the first name to the first name record, the last name to the last name record, primary contact number, primary email is the Keller Williams terminology, but the email may have a different one. Like, it might say work email or personal email in your database, but you know what your data is, so you can match it up. So it just makes it really easy to import. But if you're using a Mac, you're probably using a program called Numbers, which is like Excel, in the Microsoft Word world. And if you're using numbers, it won't import a CSV because the format of the CSV is not compatible. So what you have to do is you have to save the CSV as a different file type, which is it's still .csv, but as you save it, it'll give you the option to save it as Western DOS Latin, Western DOS Latin, LATIN. And if you save the file as Western DOS Latin, it works great with command. It imports
I'm
right
putting
away.
that in the chat. That is the pro tip of the century, probably. So Western DOS for the old
Latin, yeah,
PC platform, right? Yeah. So Western DOS Latin. Okay, and that's for Mac users to save a CSV, right?
Yeah. I'm just here to hear Peter say process.
No,
process.
We love that you say process. Don't change it. Don't Americanize it for us.
What do Americans say?
Process, but you say process and progress, and we love the way it sounds. It's awesome.
I find a lot of the northeastern people say words in an English way as well, which is cool.
Well, that because that's where the rebels first landed, right? New England.
By rebels, you mean
the colonials, the ones that left the homeland.
Well, I don't want to get into it, but I watched a YouTube video the other day about American history, and I found out that Florida did not join the 13 states that became the USA. They were invited. They were invited and refused because they preferred to stay with the British.
Yeah.
Way to go, Florida.
That's why there's so much Florida man here.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so save I forgot what I was doing for a minute.
Save a CSV file.
Yeah.
When using numbers as Western DOS Latin for Mac users. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. So every time I get an agent call me and go, I can't get my file to upload, I go, are you using a Mac or a PC? And I go, Mac. I go, well, we just need to do a quick export as Western DOS Latin, and it will work perfectly.
That's awesome.
That's going to help.
Inferior Mac users are going to be so happy that you gave that information.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just run us through the access and download the command import error log. Let's do this, and we'll go find that. There we go. Yes. You want to throw that up there from Chris, Peter? That comment. Yeah, everybody who's with Keller Williams should be taking advantage of the workspace account that KWRI has provided for us. And that is your kw.com email. If you don't know, that is a Gmail workspace account, and we get unlimited drive storage with that, and it is fantastic. So I actually eliminated my subscription to Microsoft Office because the Google products are fantastic. The only thing I will say is that if you have a really high level spreadsheet like that was generated in Excel, so I'm thinking along the lines of Commitment to Excellence, which is an amazing real estate numbers tracking program that is all built in Excel. That will not work in Sheet or that won't work in Sheets. But if it's just a basic spreadsheet, it works fine there. And otherwise, Word, Power, slides instead of PowerPoint, all that stuff, it works great in Google.
Yeah, I do. I use a lot of Google stuff now. It's Ryan, our RTT in Florida. He got me onto it, and it's definitely cool. The only problem on a Mac, right, is they're pre-installed programs, and I tried to remove them and couldn't. It's like there's no delete button.
So it's like that. It's like that on their computers. I know it's like that on the phones, right?
Yeah, but when you click on a file, it automatically opens. There isn't anywhere I can find to go to say open with Sheets, right? Gotcha. It doesn't do that. It's not an app on the machine. So what happens is you get your data, you've left your previous brokerage and they give you a file with all your, Brivity stroke KV core file, and they email it to you, or you email it to yourself. You download it onto the only computer you've got, which is a Mac. Click on it, and you're in Numbers. And as soon as you go into Numbers, the file converts and can't be uploaded to Command.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to go through this process.
You and Orsini need to get
Chris
together.
is saying you can totally delete Numbers. I hear that, but I don't know if it's. I'm using a very old Mac. It's 10 years old. It's. I'm surprised it's still even functioning, but I can't run the latest operating system. And when I try and decouple Numbers from it, it's not letting me. So I don't know if it's because it's an old machine that it was kind of on that version of the OS back then. They were allowed to force you to use certain, do you remember all those lawsuits where they were saying these companies were forcing you to use their products in favor of another product, and that competitor was saying that's anti-competitive, that you can't just, like you can choose to have Chrome now as your default browser. Well, 10 years ago you couldn't. It was you're using Safari.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, a lot of people don't realize too that when you go to buy a new PC, right? Like say Best Buy, Staples, whatever. The reason those computers are like so cheap at $300, $400, $500, $600, because that's cheap.
Yeah, they're
really like $2,000 machines minimum. But it's because the manufacturer gets so many kickbacks from all of the software that's preloaded on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to Newegg or a store like that, like probably Micro Center as well. I don't know. I don't get to go to Micro Center. I'm so jealous because I think it's a Canadian and mostly California thing, but there is one coming to Miami. I can't wait to go there. Yeah. But you go to those computer stores where you can get the raw hardware, they're a lot more expensive because they don't have, the manufacturer doesn't have the kickbacks from all the software that's been added on the computer.
I know I was trying to remove Photo Booth, which is another annoying program that pops up on a Mac. It's kind of like, it's more like a toy. It gives weird faces and silly hats on and stuff. But I don't want it on my machine. I want the space back. So I tried to delete it, and that's locked. That's unremovable. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to dig right in the, I nearly said dig in the back end, but you know what I'm saying.
Chris is gonna have to pick himself up off the floor.
So if you go dig in the back end of your Mac, you'll probably find a way. A Mac being a coat.
So he actually just deleted Numbers because you helped him realize that he doesn't need to keep it on his computer.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm running a 10-year-old Mac with very limited upgrades now, and it won't work with a lot of apps. Like if I go to the App Store and try download an app, it'll say, sorry, you need to have at least something from this century to use it.
Sounds like my phone. My iPhone 12 is like it's telling me it needs an upgrade.
My battery's hilarious. It says charged to 100%, but when you actually go into the software, it goes, well, really, you got about 60% because 40% of your battery's turned into crystals.
All right, let's jump into this last part, and that is the answers article on access and download the command import error log. So when you import contacts into command using the command contact import template, that's what Peter was talking about, where you have to match up the fields and everything. Sometimes you might find that the whole import failed, or you might see that a few of the contacts didn't import while others did. Now, Peter and I can speak to the fact that a lot of times when things don't come over, it's because you actually have that contact already in your command database. And Peter, where do those pesky ones like to hide?
Remember? Well, so I'm glad you're testing me on this. So when you remove a contact, it goes into the contact archive, and even though it's not visible, it still checks against the archive when you import. So say I had a CSV file and I called it I hate my last broker.csv, right? Just as I'm leaving. And I then try and import it, and then I go, oh, I got that wrong, and I archive everything and start over. Not only will it not let me import the file again because you can't use the same file name twice,
right?
It's going to go not letting you. It's to protect you from overwriting your data. But even though you can't see those contacts, they're still in the archive, and you can't bring in a contact that matches with the archive.
Nope, and it will drive you crazy. Right before we sign off, because we're coming up on time, but right before we sign off, I will take you and show you where the archive is so that you know how to find it. But yeah, that's probably the number one cause of frustration for not understanding why contacts are coming in.
And remember, this is working as intended. It's meant to stop you from literally destroying your database by
the archive is there so that if you deleted somebody and realized you didn't want to do that, you just go find them in the archive and restore them. So
and we don't want to overwrite them, because like you might have two people with the same name. They might, I don't know, there's all sorts of reasons you want to protect your data, right?
Yeah.
So it's working as intended, but it creates frustration, which is what's bad. Are you going to go back into command now? Because my internet speed is not fast enough.
Yeah, I will. I just wanted to kind of go through this article real quick. So access, and it tells you where to go. You're going to go to your settings. Then under command settings, you're going to go to my logs, imports. And then if you have recently imported a contact list in command, there's an easier way to access the import log. You will need to refresh the page after importing. And then you can just go to your notifications bell and it will show contact import, and you just click on the download log there. All right. But if you do go through settings here, so this was an update in the yellow here. This is an update to the original article. But if you go to settings, command settings, my logs, then import logs, right? So imports, and then go down here. You have your import logs by date, and it will show you how many contacts were imported, how many failed, and you can download that there. So hopefully that helps you. It shows you.
I can hear the team leaders and ATLs going, "How the hell will this help you sell a home?" Right? Because that's what they do. They freak out when we go into detail with something, because like, you don't need to know that. Okay, calm down. When things go wrong, it disrupts your business. And when you're disrupted trying to fix technology, you're not selling. So that's how it helps you. Us giving you information to smooth over and prevent problems makes you sell more homes, because you're doing what you're meant to be doing, which is talking to people, not having to mess around with your computer and try to fix it. So we're trying to educate against problems arising in the first place. So knowing what the error log means, knowing why it happens, and having an understanding that there is a background database hidden behind command to preserve your data called the archive. And Brett's going to log in there now and show us the big danger button in the back.
Yeah. So you see my wife's screen now, right? Her command. So I'm going to go down here to settings. So I clicked on my name up here. I went to settings. And then I'm going to go to command settings and contacts, and right here, contact archive. All right. When I click on that, this is where everybody's hiding. Now you can see in my wife's account here, there's like 11 people in here. If she was to do an import that one of these people were on, she might be getting frustrated that they're not coming over. And it's because they're still living here in the archive. Now, the advantage is that if I accidentally put somebody in the archive that I didn't want to, I just go over here and hit restore, and they go right back into my database.
Yeah.
It is intentional functionality, like Peter said, that the archive exists, because now when I want to permanently delete somebody, it's making me do it again by hitting the trash can, and then they're completely gone and I can't get them back.
Yeah. So, and you can delete all of your archives. You don't have to go through each one. If you want to just wipe the archive.
Yeah.
You can delete selected permanently, restore selected. I don't want to go into database wipe. It scares me. It gives me anxiety.
I do not like that.
But there is a way. If you, for instance, being fair about it, if you want to start over again and have a fresh command, you can wipe the whole thing. But that's a very rare event that you'd want to do that. But let's say you've just got like messed it up and it just isn't how you want it, and you want to just start over, we can reset your command database to day one, no contacts. But you need to do some preparatory work prior to that, which is to download your information, but you'll not get everything in that download. You know, it's not, you get all the name, address, phone number, and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of the structure, like the follow-up plans, the smart plans that they're on, that's not going to be restored.
No, it won't. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's something we've heard a lot too. No, there is no way to know who was on what smart plan with an import.
And even if there was, which day are they on in the smart plan? How far down the process? So a database wipe is like, you've really got to consult with your MCTT and sit and go through that. Right. I think we've reached our time.
Yeah. So there was a lot of information packed in there. We did not get to the top 5 from our region, which Peter and I know are affecting other regions as well from what we see in the Facebook groups. So you know what, Peter? That's what we'll do next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Campaigns, agent sites, all that stuff.
12:15 Eastern, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I spoke over you then.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
Yes, I was just going to say Wednesday, 12:15 Eastern. We'll cover the top 5 pain points from actual support requests rather than browsed articles on answers. That's 2 separate things. So really, those problems are more of a problem because the people that have got the problem haven't found the answer in answers. They've had to go and actually reach out. So that's probably more important for us to address.
Yeah. So that's what we'll do next time. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Becky, Chris, we appreciate you being in the comments and hanging out with us. Thank you so much. And we'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye.